Welcome to Living in Beauty. It's Thursday, August 21st, 2025. Day 3,321 on the road. And I'm recording this podcast in our condo's living room in Vienna, Austria, where we are spending 3 months celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary. In Texas, finding yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time can end in tragedy. And finding yourself in the right place at the right time is a blessing. This is why we call it adventure. 25 miles southeast of downtown Amarillo, where Pico took his last breath, we retreated into a hole in the ground called Palo Duro. After claiming his ashes and leaving his things at the doorstep of the Panhandle Humane Society, we felt aimless. Our journey with Pico had come to an end. Palo Duro, a legendary abyss of pain and loss in the heart of the Texas Panhandle, was the closest place to pull off the road for a while, rest, and collect ourselves. But first, we had to get out of Meredith Lake Recreation Area, and the front curbside stabilizer busted loose and pawed the ground right in front of the gatehouse, blocking the exit. The crankshaft had stripped, so I quick fixed it with Gorilla Tape. As we pulled out, a flock of cardinals, 20 or more, flew directly over the rig in a blaze of glory. We pulled out of the park hoping for the best, but whenever we eased to a stop, Beauty's stabilizer threatened to drop. Limping towards Palo Duro, we postponed the deep descent into the canyon. It was too risky with the trailer in disrepair and low on Gorilla Tape. We pulled into Bar Z Winery, a Harvest Host location a mile or so from Palo Duro, to bed down for the night. Being familiar with grief and how it refuses to move on, we both confessed to having an irrational hope that any minute someone would call us or hunt us down to declare a mistake had been made and hand our dog back to us. We'd planned to stay inside, listen to music, and play cards. But the high wind and stampeding clouds made us edgy, so we eased over to the tasting room to buy the obligatory bottle of wine and find out what in the West Texas was coming at us. The sommelier put me at ease about the weather and suggested the rosé. I took the bottle out to the patio, where Carmen stood leaning against a post, listening to a talented Texas troubadour. I went back to the wine bar to order pizza. For the next hour, we listened to Dust Bowl ballads and toasted to the migrating clouds and their enviable grasp on purpose and direction. Some say grief is like a dry sponge, soaking up your joy, leaving you parched for life's meaning. Having endured my share of grief, I'd say that's a fair description. But how many losses can one suffer before the stream runs dry? Next morning, we drove our sad, wounded asses into the canyon. Palo Duro means hardwood, not easy squeezy. The treacherous, narrow descent demands the utmost caution. That saying, between a rock and a hard place, might have originated here. Texans say this is the most scenic area of the Panhandle, sculptured over millions of years by the Prairie Dogtown fork flow from the Red River, with considerable contributions from the West Texas wind. The short 800-foot descent offers impressive views of hiking, horseback, and bike riding trails. 120 miles long and 20 miles wide, Palo Duro is the second largest canyon in the United States. Charles Goodnight, a former Texas Ranger and the inventor of the chuck wagon, drove 1,600 longhorn cattle into the canyon in 1876. He and his partner, John Adair, founded J.A. Ranch, the first Texas Panhandle spread. An outdoor musical, Texas, runs throughout the summer in the park's amphitheater, which brings the history of the High Plains to the stage. At its peak in 1885, the ranch grazed 100,000 head on 1,335,000 acres. Goodnight crossed cattle and bison, which he called cattaloo, But the ranch also preserved a herd of native plains bison. Individuals from that JA herd were donated to populate Caprock Canyon State Park and Yellowstone National Park. In 1933, Texas bought the land, and the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, spent 5 years developing the park and campgrounds. No bison roam these days, but as we set up camp, a pair of wild turkey greeted us. Pico would never allow that. He had no confidence in our fighting skills, and here, the first camp we set up without him, is instantly invaded. He was right. We're total losers. Exhausted from vet visits, no sleep and stress, we vowed to take walks on the cool mornings and rest with our Kindles in the afternoon shade. The park boasts 30 miles of hiking on 17 different trails. The roads are bicycle-friendly with low, slow traffic and stunning wraparound views. Visitors with limited mobility can enjoy the canyon via car, horseback, or rent an all-terrain wheelchair for use within the park. Natural formations called hoodoos, goblins, or fairy towers anchor the scenery. Coyotes, owls, and bobcats vocalize in the night, but we never spotted them. We took precautions for snakes, but none appeared. Neither did we see the Palo Duro mouse or Texas horned lizard. Wildlife encounters occurred when we least expected them. Spring wildflowers and grasses dotted the canyon. There are 125 campsites in the park, plus a few group sites. Some have water, some have electricity, but none have a sewer hookup. There is a dump station in the park. You can make reservations online or by calling 512-389-8900. Rates vary depending on where you camp, but we paid $24 for a site with water and electricity. There are 4 glamping tent cabins available through PaloDuroCamping.com. The Cow Camp cabins are 7 unique structures built by the CCC in 1933. 3 of the cabins are on the canyon rim, and 4 are on the canyon floor. Though rustic, they've been upgraded with modern heating and cooling and are available for overnight stays. On our last night in the canyon, a supermoon was scheduled to rise. Pico coveted his night walks, so this moon felt super important to us. From early dusk, we began walking the canyon. The canyon glowed as the moon skirted the edges, just slightly out of view. Finally, at 2 a.m., it showed off for a few glorious minutes before slipping back into the night. Palo Duro didn't offer any answers. It just wrapped us in a deep plush bed on the Panhandle Plains and gently whispered the pure Texas truth. Life is hard, even in paradise. Thank you for joining us in Living in Beauty. If you like this post and want to be notified when a new one is released, please enter your email address and click the follow button at the bottom of this page. For more information, check out our travel maps and facts. Okay, that's it for now. Safe and happy travels until next time.